Okay, you join us as we are looking for a park up for tonight. We're in a small French town and I've got a park up earmarked just 300 metres away. Hopefully it's suitable. There's a lot of cars on the road here. I'm not sure if we're going to have space, but let's see. Oh look, there's one of them funny little electric cars. I do like the look of them, but they're just too small for me. We usually use search for sites to find our park ups, but we're struggling here, so we turned to Park4night to find one close by. It's just down here, look, on the right. When we arrived, we were faced with the dreaded height barrier.
But there's a big old space beyond it. I don't know if you can get to it without the height barrier.
What, in here?
No, there's still a height barrier.
It doesn't look like this is going to be suitable for us for tonight. The height barriers are stopping us staying here. Let's have a look on the map for somewhere else. And back through the border.
Into Switzerland.
Back into Switzerland again. So we couldn't find a suitable park up close by on either search for sites or Park4night. Welcome to Switzerland. So Lindsay turned to Google Maps and found this little gem in the countryside, just 10 minutes from CERN. Well, here we are. One Aire.
That looks like it could be a toilet.
Fingers crossed. I parked up the van and George went for a run around outside. You all right, George? You've been running around?
Yeah.
Look at you. What's it like out there? All right?
Yeah, cold, but...
Oh, listen, bud. Okay, it's a bit blowy out here, but we've got a park up for tonight. We are tucked in here with a few other vans in an Aire, and there's a nice communal area just across the way. There's even toilets. They're Turkish-style toilets, but there's toilets nonetheless. So this will do us for the night, 10 minutes away from where we need to be tomorrow in CERN. And George is tucked up here playing. What are you playing, Georgie?
It's Kingdom Rush.
Of course it's Kingdom Rush, my favourite game. Oh, and Harry and Mummy are doing some homework.
We're doing some geography revision.
Okay.
This park up is in a really idyllic spot. I know when we put it on Facebook last night there were a couple of comments about the state of the toilets, but that's just surface graffiti. There's fresh toilet rolls. It's fine. Absolutely fine.
But we've had some poorly boys throughout the night, haven't we?
We have had some poorly boys. Poor old Harry's been sick every 15 minutes since about 2 o'clock. He is so poorly. So he's probably going to miss out on CERN today. George was a little bit sick this morning. We're waiting to see if that was a reaction to him hearing his brother be sick, which is a distinct possibility, or whether it's a bug that is going through them. Oh, how unlucky are we?
Only time will tell.
Yes.
Okay, but we're going to pack the van up and hit the road, right?
And hit the road. We are going to CERN today, and I am so excited about this.
Even though you look very tired. There is excitement in there somewhere, is there?
Yeah, I had about 3 hours sleep because poor Harry, my poor baby. I know he's 16 and massive and, you know, giant lanky legs, but he's still my baby when he's poorly.
No, he can stay in bed today, right?
Yeah.
Right, I'll take him for a quick look around the facilities.
You do that, yes.
And down here we've got a sink. We have one squatting toilet there. And another one right there. As Lindsay says, the graffiti could put people off, but you know what? It's perfect. And there's toilet roll, which is very unusual for being out in Europe. And here we are parked here. Right, let's get this place packed up and on the road. So this stop wasn't on search for sites or Park4night, my love?
No, it wasn't, and we didn't really want a campsite. It would have been nice with all the sickness in the end, but we didn't really want a campsite because it's just somewhere to sleep. So I took a punt. I used Google Maps. And I put in Aire de camping car. I literally put it in, and I'll put the words in the description so you can see what it is. And it came up with 4 or 5 different options around here, which was good actually. We weren't 100% sure before we arrived that this one had toilets, and we were lucky that way. They are squatting toilets, so if you're not very well, that's not the easiest if you're used to more kind of European style. I don't know.
But they had toilet roll, which makes a change.
Yeah, they're clean. They have toilet roll. The only thing that would put some people off is the graffiti and the fact that they're squatting toilets.
Right. But they were perfectly fine. And
we've got our own toilet, so we could use our toilet and empty into it because we're using the bio good stuff.
Sol Bio.
Sol Bio. Today we've come to CERN, which is the European Organisation for Nuclear Research. And the reason we're here is because Eddie, our eldest, is about to do his physics A-level. This should have been a trip that he did with school, but for whatever reason it didn't happen. So we're lucky enough to be able to bring him in and have a look ourselves. We started in the main visitor reception called the Science Gateway and headed into an auditorium to watch a video that explains some of the basic physics studied at CERN. This was followed by a guided tour presented by a senior research and project manager. We started in the original facility and learnt about the history of CERN. For our final stop, we crossed the road to the Atlas building.
Physics seems to have moved on a little bit since I last studied it 30 years ago.
I'm sure he's talking English, isn't he?
He is. No, it's really interesting. I am loving the history side of the tour and what's going on. Ed's completely getting the physics side of it as well, until the researcher who's giving the tour goes off answering a proper physics question. Wow!
They were English words, but I understood none of it.
Inside, our guide explained some of the modern experiments currently being conducted. We discussed how physics theories are created and monitored. We were even able to see the mission control areas.
Well, I'm really pleased that they're not going to do a test at the end of that. That was fantastic. It was really fascinating. The bits that I understood. Other bits he could have been speaking any language and I wouldn't have understood.
Isn't he?
But actually the history of the place and the importance and the gravitas of the place really came across. It was really fascinating.
I could appreciate that, even though I hardly understood what he was talking about particles, and it was just all over my head, you know.
Yeah.
They were English words, but it made no sense.
But there were science words. I think they're the same across all languages as well.
And I could just appreciate then that he knew his stuff, didn't he?
Oh yeah, very much, definitely. That was great. We have got another activity here this afternoon. I think we're watching a film. I can't remember. I have to go back and have a look at my programme now.
Right, but should we get some lunch first?
Let's get some lunch first.
Okay,
and check on the boys.
We had about an hour until our next event, so Ed and I took a look around the museum part of CERN, which has lots of interesting things in. Take Quantum World, for example, where there were interactive displays that you could play and interact with to help learn about each area. We probably enjoyed this room the most. CERN is amazing, and I can see why it's popular with school trips, as it's great for students. And let's not forget that everything we've done here today is completely free. I never knew of this place before our visit today, but I can now see the importance of CERN and everything they do here. If you're passing Geneva, especially with kids, we highly recommend a visit to CERN. We'll leave a link in the description.
Who thinks it will fly? Et ça arrive aussi, qui ne sait pas? Who doesn't know? Alors maintenant, essayons. Let's try.
After this morning's tour, we popped down to Lidl to grab some melon for the boys because that's all they could really fancy. We did pick up some other fruit as well. After lunch, we've popped back in and we've been to see the interactive displays. They were really cool. But we have just finished the day by watching an interactive show. They had two guys at the front telling us, they were basically breaking down the big scientific and physics concepts that they apply to all the work that's done here into little bite-sized pieces that we could understand, and really brought it down to a level. I figured out what was going on pretty much. It was really good. It was a little bit like the Christmas lectures that we get.
Absolutely, that's what me and Ed thought it was like.
Yeah, and it was part French, part English, and the way they bounced off each other was great. Really enjoyed it.
It's been a fab day, isn't it?
It has been a really fantastic day. I'm so pleased we managed to do it. I'm sad that George and Harry weren't up to properly enjoying it. But let's get on the road because we want to go to Paris.
Yes, it's about 5.5 hour drive on the toll roads to get to Paris, and we're not going to do that tonight. But I'm going to break the back of it tonight. Let's see what we can do. Maybe drive a couple of hours and find somewhere to stop along the way.
It's quite funny because we've just come through the border from Switzerland into France, and the main border, and there's lots more checks that they could implement if we wanted. But I realised we just spent 48 hours in Switzerland and didn't change any money up, so we didn't have any Swiss francs. We just used contactless for everything. The other really fantastic thing, thinking back to CERN, was it was completely free. We didn't have to pay a penny once we were there, and the way they have the booking system is that you can book your interactive activities on the day, because they had people that were booking way in advance and just not turning up. But doing this way, you're guaranteed to see what you want to see.
Okay, it's a bit windy out here, but I'll show you what I'm up to. I've just pulled in the service station. We're dropping the grey. I've just cleaned the windscreen from that lot, and over here I'm going to empty the loo now. If I wanted, I could even plug in for 20 minutes and get some electric. We need more of these in the UK, don't we? God, it's perfect. And since we're having a big push on the drive-in, I think there's McDonald's over the way. We'll probably just grab some quick fast food and get back on the road again. Right, we've been driving for over 2 hours on the French tolls. Let's see how much this has cost us.
+2, €38.90.
Well, Lynn's has found us what looks to be quite a nice Aire. It's meant to have toilets. Ed's gone looking for them now. There's quite a few vans here. I'd say there's probably 20 vans here already. And it's nearly full. So, yeah. This will do us for the night, I think. Right, thought I'd check in. Everyone's feeling a bit better. Lynn's is feeling quite shattered as it goes. So I think she's going to turn in early. But I wanted to touch base about how this thing drives. I can't tell you how impressed I am. I was impressed when I borrowed the ones from Swift as well. This thing it just goes. The suspension feels really good. Going up hills, it just climbs, it pulls. I think it's got the 160 brake horsepower engine in it. And apparently it'll do 90 mile an hour. I wouldn't know, but I've heard it does 90. So yeah, I mean, it gets along. Fuel consumption, I'm getting over 24. I was getting 25 when I was taking it easy. But I just love the way it drives. I think my seat's a little bit more comfortable. But it just, go and have a test drive of one. If you're thinking of having a motorhome and you've been put off by the Ford chassis on them, don't be. Someone mentioned about it having a wet cam belt or something like that, and he was put off buying it for that. I probably wouldn't keep it long enough for a cam belt change anyway. But definitely, I love it. It drives so much better than mine. But I'm not comparing it to the 3.5 ton Swift version. So it may be that I'm not comparing apples for apples here. But I just love the way it drives. Really, really nice. Anyway, we'll pick you guys up in the morning. Well, we've woken up surrounded by cars this morning. There was lots of motorhomes here last night. They seem to have cleared out, and there's cars parked everywhere, even double parked. So I think it's because there's a church right there. So it's clearly a popular car park for the locals. This guy's hardly given us any room at all though. Anyway, we'll probably take a wander into town this morning. You're looking very flowery this morning and bright and beautiful.
Well, I know the weather's about to change, so I thought I'd just bring my own sunshine.
Hey, awesome.
Yeah.
Let's take a walk into town?
Let's do it, yeah. I think we'll leave the kids here and just you and I go.
Blimey, we've woken up to a full car park, haven't we?
Yeah, everyone's walking in that direction, and I wonder why.
Let's go and find out, shall we? We seem to be in the wine region, my love.
Yeah, there's a big route that they're promoting down here from Burgundy in the Loire Valley. So I think this is a route that we need to do slowly when George is finally moved out. What do you reckon?
Absolutely.
Should we drop a pin? Because the chateaus look stunning, right. Absolutely beautiful. And I love wine, so, you know.
So it's a very popular area right here. And I suppose there's a service point right across the road. And Harry was playing football right here last night with the locals.
Yesterday, as we were driving in, I spotted that some of the roads were roped off, and I was like, oh, there must be something going on. Yeah, it's car boot sale today. Maybe we've got the colours wrong.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Very me.
It certainly is a popular destination for people on a Sunday morning here, isn't it?
I wonder if it's every week or just like the first Sunday in the month or something.
Right. Is that a bakery right ahead?
No, they've got rotisserie chickens.
Okay. Ooh, that smells amazing.
It does.
Doesn't it?
It does.
And there's more over here. Oh, and there's some ready, yeah. Some ready on the bottom.
Yeah. Should we do that?
Yeah, let's do
rotisserie
it.
chicken.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, look at these old cameras. Fantastic. How cameras have come along over the years, huh?
I know, but everything has as well. Look, there is so much. It's kind of part car boot, part antique, I think, as well.
Right. This is impressive, my love.
Yes, it's the town hall area.
Ah, here we go. Ooh. This is a bit more than the baker.
This is a patisserie.
Right.
Or a patissiere. We've joined a queue.
It's got to be for the boulanger.
I think it is, yes. It looks like it is. A boulanger and patissiere. But hopefully we can just get some bread. Flaky pastry and then apple slices. Sounds amazing.
Bread over the back there, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, but... Oh my goodness, the boys are going to be spewing that they missed this because they would have chosen all sorts as well. But I think we've done okay.
About 25 quid in the bakery.
Maybe.
Oh, it seems the chickens are all taken.
They are. I think they've been all pre-ordered or something. They smell amazing. As you walk up the market, you can smell them.
Oh, Never mind.
So that's kind of put a kibosh on my chicken sandwiches.
That's okay.
I've got all sorts of cold meats and cheeses and things, so it'll be fine.
What a lovely little walk out in the town.
I know, I would love to stay a little longer here. It's one of those things, isn't it? Because we've kind of got plans to go to Paris.
Paris, although the weather's not looking great.
Maybe we can find something to do. It's all wine based here. Which is great for me and you, but not so much for the kids.
Right. What a find this little French town was, really.
Yep.
To wake up and pop into a Sunday market.
Yep.
Awesome, fantastic.
And the patisserie.
And the patisserie. Yeah, shame we didn't get any chicken though.
No,
that smelled great.
Sad.
There we are. So the bakery was 28 euros.
Yeah.
And 19 euros was this apple tart. Look at that.
It's such a treat. I love tart tatin. So, yeah.
Does it taste
Don't know
good?
if I love it 19 euros worth, but I guess we'll figure it out.
Looks great then.
Yeah.
1 hour later.
So we are an hour into the journey to Paris and I've pulled over for a spot of lunch, eh?
Yes.
Yeah?
Are we an hour so far already?
Something like that, yeah, something like that. And of course we've got this rather expensive tart there, but let's have some sandwiches first, shall we? With some nice French bread.
C'est bon, c'est très bon.
She still thinks she can speak French, eh?
I was really good this morning. I asked for a poulet and everything and understood that there were no poulets.
Your poulet.
Poulet. I can't find my bin bags. I don't know where anything is.
It's just not our motorhome, is it? Everything's in different places.
Yeah. I have to open the cupboards carefully as well because there's...
Yes. Well, that's dangerous, look. Having tins up here that can fall out and go bang. Let's not keep them up there.
What are they going to do?
Bang.
Alright.
Let's put them down low, shall we? Okay, before we get back on the road, we've been asked a question about clean air certs for this van.
Yes, and we'd completely not thought about it at all because we've got one for our van. And that set me into a mild panic last night. So I went on the Clean Air Certificate website. I'm going to leave a link to that in the description. And what we got when we rented the van was this. It's not the logbook, but it is a vehicle on hire certificate. I've never seen this before.
Absolutely.
It pretty much has all the information that we needed on it. M1, which is the vehicle category, the registration date. We had all of that detail. The only thing that we've had to go off and research was the CO2 emissions. And I think I got that right from the internet. All in all, it cost €4.72 and I've got the email receipt, so we should be absolutely fine travelling through France now, through Paris specifically.
Excellent. That's just to clear that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a faff because you have to upload the proof of documentation in the right format, and I was having a brain fart or something, but managed to get that done in the end.
So there we are. So we can go to Paris in the van. Yay! Right, let's hit the road. Paris, here we come.